Hello and welcome to episode 291 of the Heart of Markness Led Zeppelin podcast. Howdy do. I am Mark and this is my podcast. Today, tonight, this morning, this weekend, whatever day it is, whenever you're listening to this, you're going to dig this. It is a good one. It was brought about. There is a thread on the Royal Orleans website, which is a Led Zeppelin fan website, written by somebody named Time Lives, who did a kind of a reevaluation of the 1980 tour, the lead up to the 80 tour, and what the US tour 80-81 would have sounded like, blah, blah, blah. And it's beautifully written, and it's really very much a pull your head out of your ass and listen to the shows again because they don't suck. Some of them do, kind of. But, I remember when these shows first came out in like 1988, 89, maybe. The 1980 shows were the first shows to come out on compact disc. And I believe Zurich was the first one that came out. And as you know, probably, the 1980 soundboard tapes don't sound the best. They're kind of thin and brittle, and they simply, like a fluorescent gas station bathroom mirror. It does you no favors when you look in the mirror. So I was very much like, yikes. Like hearing In the Evening on that soundboard was like, yikes, this is not great. But through this podcast, I have done a big reevaluation on the 80 tour. I've done several 80 shows that are really fun and enjoyable, and realized that, yes, there is some really, really good stuff. And the gentleman, Time Lives, who wrote this, when he wrote about this show, it just made me immediately listen to it. I was at work, fucking off, and played it. I play it on my phone as I work, and got onto YouTube, Led Zeppelin Boots, wonderful channel. Had a beautiful, the best, most complete Brussels 1980 show. Listened to it and was like, my God, he's good. Because he was saying, like, Since I've Been Loving You was amazing. I'm like, really? The Since I've Been Loving You in 1980? But it is. It is. This is a great show, and the early parts of the tour were amazing when Robert was all in and everything was great and everybody was on their best. I don't know if they were on their best behavior because, they were a bit of a train wreck health-wise. But best foot forward, and it was going really well. This is June 20th, 1980, Brussels, Belgium, and they're great. It's great. Bonzo is a bit subdued on this tour, kind of, because he wasn't very healthy, and a big part of it was he wasn't eating right. He was actually losing weight on the tour because he was basically just drinking and eating garbage food to the point where, if you're a drinker like Mr. Bonham was at that level, it fucks up your vitamin absorption, fucks up your B vitamins and things like that. There are consequences nutritionally for being an alcoholic, and he was suffering from them, which is why he didn't have the stamina to really go forward and be super great Bonzo at the shows, because he didn't have any gas in the tank. And at Nuremberg, which I think was the 27th of June, just a week from this show, he actually collapsed in the middle of the show and was like, I can't do it, and had to go, went to the hospital and got lots of vitamin infusions and fluid infusions and just, buddy, take care of yourself stuff. So that kind of, and then when he came back after that, Zurich was the 29th, really good show, Frankfurt, great show. But after that point of his collapse, Bonzo is playing pretty much just standard. He's not really, the Bonzo flourishes and the Bonzo wow were not present. He was playing just wonderfully and fine, but it was very much just kind of bare bones. I don't want to say phoning it in, but kind of phoning it in. which is understandable if he wasn't feeling well. So, anyway, long story short, too late for that. This is a great show. This was the third, I think, or fourth show on the tour. Started off strong. The philosophy was, because if you remember, Robert Plant was at this point deciding whether he's going to stay with Zeppelin. He's deciding if he wants to tour again, because out of everybody, he went through the most unpleasantness from the mid-70s onward, which definitely diminished the appeal of being Robert Plant, the rock god. And then with the dysfunction of other members of the band and their management being really, really bad, he wasn't sure he wanted to be part of the Zeppelin thing, because it's like it wasn't a good place. They weren't run. Peter Grant was in a really, really bad place. Richard Cole had been fired from the band. He wasn't even the road manager on this tour. And so, yeah, Robert was not 1,000,000% in, but he was at the beginning of the tour. And the beginning of the tour, everybody was playing great. They had fun. The energy was high. And that elevated the show and gave it some of its magic. So beginning of this tour, before anything bad happens, before the habits and the road life starts to get people in bad situations, they are kicking ass. And this is an absolute kick-ass show. And Jimmy is great. Bonzo is great. Robert is into it. Jonesy's always Jonesy. And what's wonderful is, if you're listening to Jimmy, which I encourage you to do, he's playing stuff that's new. You know how like 1977 Jimmy was different from 1973 Jimmy, not just in technique, but in tone, his vocabulary. He's using different words kind of musically. This is another leap, and it's very, very intelligent. And it's kind of like if Jimmy had stayed as sharp and clean as he was at Copenhagen, July 24th, which is his post-Zepp or post-73 high water mark, then the tour in 81 and 80 would have been really badass. And this is kind of the best foot forward of that show and of what could have been and what was fleetingly. At least it was in Brussels on June 20th, 1980. La la la. Let's start with Trampled Underfoot, which absolutely kicks ass. This is from a Winston remaster of the soundboard merged with the audience tape to fill in gaps. It's excellent, and he really makes it sound pretty darn good. Trampled Underfoot, let's listen. Good snare work from Mr. Bonham and some really good work from Jimmy Page.
We should sit down through the love trip, like the way on the road. Mama really knows about love. For the love of sex, I sure know. Mama let me put you yes, Mama let me do it all. About love. Thank you.
That little bit at the end was Jimmy telling someone in the audience who's yelling to have patience. And the guy yells back and says, what sounds like, play, you fuck. And then Jimmy says something along the lines of, let's toss him, something like that. At least that's what I heard and what I have read. In any case, kind of funny. Like, patience. Yeah, in 1980, the audiences were, the rock music scene had kind of polarized to the point where the people that were seeing Led Zeppelin were also seeing, Motorhead and Judas Priest and things like that. More metally, hard stuff. So things like the Rain Song and White Summer Black Mountainside, things like that are just kind of like, okay, not what we're here for. The audiences were a little more obnoxious, in other words. So it's interesting to have the band that legendarily had the relationship with the audience so good that they wrote The Ocean about it, to be kind of harangued by audiences on this tour a little bit. Interesting times, man. Definitely a transition time that, the band itself obviously didn't survive. But had they, it would have been kind of interesting with more Carousel Alhambra in the evening kind of stuff on the horizon. And Carousel Alhambra was supposedly going to be played on the 1980-1981 US tour, which would have been badass. All right, what we're going to jump into next is the song that they were going to be playing next that you just heard, which is Since I've Been Loving You. And I am playing this going, listen to this. It is not one of those sad Jesus Christ 1980 Since I've Been Loving Yous where Jimmy kind of doesn't have ideas or doesn't follow through on the ideas he has. This is, everything he's playing has a beginning, middle, and an end. It is really cool, it's dynamic, and it is new. And of course, Robert sneaks in a few T for One lyrics. But yeah, I really like this, and I'm not even that big of a fan of the 1977 and onward iterations of Sibley, and this one got me. It is brilliant. Jimmy's brilliant, playing some really cool stuff in this. I hope you like it as much as I do, and I love being able to say, hey, like Trampled Underfoot, listen to what Jimmy's playing. He's playing some really cool stuff there, and he's playing some really cool stuff here, and not only cool blues stuff, which is always great when Jimmy plays blues, but stuff I haven't heard him before. He's using new tricks. He's got new words in his vocabulary. And it's refreshing to hear and really enlightening. And I'm grateful for Time Lives for taking the time to write his essays about the shows, because that got me really invested and got me back listening to this. And now I can share this with you. Since I've Been Loving You, enjoy.
love you more. Ooh, my little girl, my little girl, my little girl. Now, baby, since I've been loving you, I'm about to lose. I don't want to lose my worried mind. I lost it too many times. Ooh, everybody trying to tell me, ooh, baby, my sweet mama, that you didn't mean me no good, no, no. But I try, but I try, but I try, but I try. Oh, hey, baby, I really try to do the best I could. Oh. I've been working from Saturday. Baby. Oh, yes, it's a drag. Oh, it's a drag. Ah, it's a drag. It's a drag. Oh, baby, I don't think that's right. Oh. Ooh, baby, since I've been loving you, yeah. I'm about to lose. I think I'm gonna lose my worried mind. I think I'm gonna go buy a train to lose my worried mind. I think I'm gonna go buy a car. crying, don't you know? Yeah. All my tears, they fell like rain. Sometimes you have seen them, but I won't let my tears fall, baby. I can't stop these tears from falling. Don't you know, don't you know? Oh, baby. My word mind. It's ever so easy. Oh, sure is now, baby. Sometimes when I get to thinking, when I get to thinking about my good friend, a little girl, don't make me lose my word mind. This is a bottle of water. And as kind of semi-survivors from the 60s, I guess we all had our dreams along the way about music and ideals and stuff. And in the middle of one of them, we ended up in the Sahara Desert. And we wrote them... No. Wrong. We wrote this, it's called Achilles' Last Stand.
But we are not going to hear Achilles' Last Stand. If you want to hear Achilles' Last Stand, you can download the entire show, the whole concert, from my website, heartofmarkness.com. Just look up this episode 291, Brussels. If it is after the launch date, like months or weeks or years after, then just use the search function and find it and grab it, download it, and own it. It's a great show. Great show. Standard 1980 set list, which I will give to you. Opens with Train Kept a Rollin' into Nobody's Fault But Mine, which is awesome. Black Dog, which is introduced by Jimmy in French, actually. In the Evening, Rain Song, Hot Dog, and this isn't a bad version of Hot Dog. And I mean, I know they did it and they shouldn't have done it, but it's not bad. All of My Love, another decent version. Trampled Underfoot, which you heard, which is awesome. Since I've Been Loving You, which you heard, which was awesome. Achilles' Last Stand, which you haven't heard, but it's awesome. White Summer, Black Mountainside, which isn't terrible. Kashmir, awesome. Stairway, awesome. Rock and Roll, awesome. And then what we're going to listen to next, Whole Lot of Love, which is very awesome because it's the full, complete 1980 version, which brings in the theremin-y, funky, crazy stuff that we hear, as well as keeping some of the blues, the Let That Boy Boogie. It's good. It's a nice thing. I can't wait to play it for you. But first, the spiel. You can find me almost everywhere where there are podcasts. I got booted off of Spotify because they're like, you play music. If you play music, then get on Spotify proper. I'm like, but I'm a podcast. And they're like, you play music. You don't have a podcast. It was like I sent in an appeal to their, you can't do this. And I got back like within moments, meaning it was just an automatic kickback, a thing that's like, you play songs. If you're playing songs, then you need to submit the songs to Spotify. We welcome the opportunity to, and it's like, fuck, okay. So I'm not on Spotify anymore. Boo-hoo. I am on YouTube, Apple, Android, everywhere. Well, you know where I am because you're listening to me. YouTube at Heart of Markness. I am on Blue Sky as Heart of Markness. Blue Sky is basically what Twitter used to be, almost exactly. It's just a clone of old Twitter, and I really enjoy it. I really, really like it. There's not a lot of bullshit. I haven't seen any assholes. So yeah, Mark Donahue. No, that's me. Mark Donahue is myself, but Heart of Markness on Blue Sky. I'm also still on X, Twitter at Heart of Markness. There's a Facebook group for the podcast, Heart of Markness, where I post the shows, and there are about 300 folks you can talk to about the show and talk to about Led Zeppelin, classic rock, etc. on der Facebook. And like I said, I have the aforementioned heartofmarkness.com, where I post these shows to you for free, courtesy of the Titans upon whose shoulders rests this humble yet mighty podcast, and I am talking about my patrons. I have a Patreon for you. If you want to support the show, if you want to support the whole live music every week, Led Zeppelin stuff, which I do, patreon.com/heartofmarkness. Take a look there if there's something for you. You get your own special shows every month that other people don't get because you're special. And I read your name off as well, unless you tell me not to. So, a Laurel and Hardy handshake go out to Keld, Gary, Mario C., Lance, switching tabs. Haha, smooth. They'll never notice. I have the slowest computer in the world. Okay, there we go. Keith and Tilda, Steve, George, Big Ed, Kenny, Picard, scrolling, Wayne, Brad, Dan, Yell, Tracy, Other and Supreme David, Bonzo Billy, and Mimo. Thank you for being my friends. Thank you for supporting the podcast. These guys pay for the hosting for the podcast itself, the hosting for the cloud hosting where I put the shows up to share it with you. That's not free. They handle that, and they are wonderful, and I love them very much. And if you want me to love you too, more than I already do, go to patreon.com, see if there's something there for you. Or if you're not a monthly subscription kind of guy, but I'll drop a few bucks in your cup there, homeless man on the ground, Ko-fi.com, KOFI.com/heartofmarkness. You can do a one-time thing if you wanna. And if you don't, it's a free podcast. Thanks for listening. Maybe tell some of your friends. All right, I think we are done. Are we done? Yes. Yay. Whole lot of love, everybody. It is a good one. It is a fun one. And it's interesting to hear 1980 Zeppelin, when it's running, right? When it's running smooth and all cylinders are firing. It's not bad. There's some good stuff there. There's some really intelligent phrasing, a more mature kind of phrasing in Jimmy's playing on Sibley, and some of the licks he did in Trampled Underfoot I'd not heard him do. He wasn't doing that in 75. He wasn't doing that in 77. And it's just, I love the band. I love to hear them play. I love to hear Jimmy play. And I especially love to hear Jimmy play when he's in a good place playing some brilliant stuff. So thank you, Jimmy, for being in a good place at this show. And let us listen to Whole Lotta Love, June 20th, 1980.
Love. 'cause I'm thinking about my baby. And it makes me feel, it makes me feel. I hear my mama and papa talking. I hear them say, Lord. Now people, I want to tell you, I haven't heard them say for many, 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 many. I hear them say that the little boy, ooh, that little boy's reached the age of 31. I mean 24. Sorry. You know I'm not a baby anymore. I hear them say, Lord, you gotta let that boy, you gotta let that boy. You gotta let that boy, you gotta let that boy. He's got the booty, 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 he's got the booty. And I felt so good, 'cause I had the booty for years. John Paul Jones, John Bonham, Jimmy Page and me. Thank you very much. I thank you all. Good night. It's been fantastic.
It has been fantastic. That was fantastic. Jonesy. Man, that walking bass line he did, that was crazy good. That was like Charles Mingus. Is it Mingus? No. Did he play bass? Or am I thinking Monk? No, Thelonious Monk played piano. Mingus played bass, right? All right. Whoever he is, that's who he sounds like. Thank you for listening. That was incredibly badass. Jimmy, doing all right, man. It's got the fluidity. Got some really, really good stuff. And he was able to, like I said, stick the landing, beginning, middle, and end. So on those runs, he actually had something to say. I really enjoyed that very, very much. I hope you did too. I will be back next Sunday with another episode, and I will be getting patron episodes out. I have a 4-day weekend coming up, and I'm going to hammer out at least one, hopefully 2, patron episodes for you as well, because I love you guys, and I love you supporting me. And thank you very much for listening. Talk to you soon. Be good to yourselves and each other, etc. Bye-bye.